A set of pictures getting a lot of attention shows the president sharing a laugh at the White House yesterday with Russia's foreign minister, Sergey Lavrov, and Sergey Kislyak, the Russian ambassador to the U.S. Kislyak is a key figure in the investigation of Russian meddling in the U.S. election and whether there was any collusion with Team Trump. The photos were Russian. No American press attended. We're joined now by Margaret Brennan at the State Department and Elizabeth Palmer in Sochi, Russia. Margaret, let me start with you. How did this meeting come about?
White House officials say that last week, during a phone call, Vladimir Putin personally asked President Trump to meet with his top diplomat, Sergey Lavrov. The meeting in the Oval Office lasted around 30 minutes. And at the end of it, I asked President Trump whether the firing of FBI Director Comey had any impact. He said none at all. But an invitation into the Oval Office is an honor. And the fact that President Trump went through with this, despite all of the controversies, shows just how deeply he wants to improve these frayed relations with Russia. Now, Lavrov was invited into the Oval Office by President Obama back in 2009, but he has not been welcome in Washington for at least the past 4 years due to these deep disagreements over Ukraine and the conflict in Syria.
Liz, why did the Russians want this meeting so badly?
Well, as Margaret mentioned, they've been shunned and under sanction for some years now in Washington, so this was their very big, very sweet public comeback moment. And they managed the image very skillfully to project what they wish, which is that they have international legitimacy, that they're back as players on the world stage. They made sure everybody saw that picture, and they certainly don't lose an opportunity to mention the fact that, or at least what they hope, which is that Presidents Putin and Trump will meet face-to-face this summer in Germany at the G20 summit.
Margaret, as we mentioned, no American press in this meeting. So why was TASS, the Russian state news agency, allowed in?
Well, that was supposed to be closed to all press, which is why we were all so surprised to see images popping up on Russian government websites as the meeting was still happening. These photos were inside the Oval Office. We later learned that the White House, by their own admission, was misled. Russia told them that a state media agency photographer was actually the official government photographer.
You have to bear in mind this is a hugely experienced team around President Putin. Sergey Lavrov has been a senior diplomat for 25 years. They know how to play this game. They will have been sizing up the administration expertly over the last little while, looking for any opportunity to strengthen those links, hoping that the candidate they clearly favored in the U.S. election, Donald Trump, will bring them in from the cold. And the end game, of course, is to get those sanctions lifted.
Elizabeth Palmer in Sochi, Margaret Brennan at the State Department. Thank you both.